tell me the image that had kept in thy remembrance?
It's far off, and more like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants me. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Thou hadst, and more, Miranda. Oh, but how is it that this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward and abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayst.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, thy father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are you not my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou wast my daughter. And thy father was Duke of Milan, and his only heir and princess no worse issue.
Oh, the heavens! Well, what foul play had we that we came from thence? Or less in what we did?
Both. Both, my girl, like foul play, as thou sayest, for we heaved thence but blessedly up hither.
My heart bleeds to think of the team that I have turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please you, farther.
My brother, if thy uncle called Antonio, I pray thee mark me that a brother should be so perfidious. He who next thyself of all the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state, is at that time, through all the signories, it was the first. And Prospero, the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity and for the liberal arts without a parallel. Those being all my study to my state, grew stranger being, transported and wrapped in secret studies. My false uncle. Dost thou attend me?
Sir,
Most chiefly. Being once perfected, how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance, and who to trash for overtopping, new created the creatures that were mine own, I say, or else changed them or new formed them. Having both the key of officer and office in all the hearts of the state to what tune pleased his ear. But now he was the ivy which hid my princely trunk and sucked my verdure out on't. Thou attend'st not.
good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. I, thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind with that which, but by being so retired or prized all popular rate, in my false brother awaked an evil nature and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him a falsehood in its contrary as great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit, a confidence sans bound. He, being thus lorded, not only with what my revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact, like one who, having unto truth by telling of it, made such a sinner of his memory to credit his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the Duke, out of the substitution of executing the outward face of royalty with all prerogative, hence his ambition growing. Dost thou hear? Your tale, so, sir, would cure deafness. To have him screen between this part he plated, him he plated for, he needs will be absolute Milan. Me. Poor man, my library was duped and large enough. Of temporal royalties, he thinks me now incapable, confederate so dry he was for sway with the king of Naples to pay him tribute, do him homage, subject his coronet to his crown, and to bend the dukedom, yet unbowed, alas. Poor Milan, most ignoble stooping. Oh, the heavens. Mark his condition, then the event, and then tell me if this might be a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
Now, condition. This king of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens to my brother's suit, which is that he, in lieu of the premises, and I know not how much homage, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan and all the honors on my brother. Wherein a treacherous army, fated to the purpose one midnight, did Antonio open the gates, and the minister hurry thence me and thine crying self.
Alack! For mercy, I not remembering how I cried out then will cry it o'er again. It is a hint that brings mine eyes to it.
Hear a little further, and then I shall bring thee to the present business, for now's which this story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Well demanded, wench, might help the roast that question. Dear, they durst not, so dear the love my people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on the business, but with colours fairer painted their foul ends. In few they hurried us aboard a bark, and bore us some leagues to the sea where they had prepared a rotten carcass of a lot, not tackle, sail, nor mast, the very rats instinctively equipped. And there they hoist us to cry to the sea that roared to us to sigh, to the winds whose pity, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim! Thou wast what did preserve me. Thou didst smile, infuse it with a fortitude from heaven when I decked the sea with drops full salt under my burden groaned, and raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should else ensue.
How came we ashore?
In providence divine. Some food we had and some fresh water, but a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, being been appointed master of this design, to give us rich garments, linen stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steadied much. So, of his kindness, knowing that I loved my books, he furnished me with volumes from mine own library that I prize above my dukedom. And I might but ever see that man. Sit still, and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here came we ashore, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princes can that have time for vainer hours and tutors not so careful.
Heavens thank you for it. Now, sir, for still 'tis beating on my mind your reason for raising this sea storm.
No thus far forth. By accident most strange, providence divine, now, my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore. And I find my prescience, my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose countenance, if I court not but omit, my fortunes shall ever after droop. Here, cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Tempest that I bade thee.
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometimes I'd divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards, and bowsprit would I flame distinctly, then meet and join Jove's lightning, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary in sight, outrunning were not the fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege, and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit! But who is so firm and so constant that this coil could not infect his reason?
Oh, not a soul, but felt a fever of the mad, and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine, and quit the vessel. Then all afire with me, the king's son Ferdinand, who with hair upstaring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leaped, cried, "Hell is empty, and all the devils are here!"
My tricksy spirit! But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou badst me, in troops I have dispersed them out the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs, in an odd angle of the island sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners say how thou hast disposed the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbor is the king's ship, in the deep nook where once thou calledst me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermuths, there she's hid. The mariners all under hatches stowed, who with a charm joined to their suffered labor I have left asleep. And for the rest of the fleet, which I dispersed, they all have met again and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perish.
carry all thy charge exactly as performed. But there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now? Moody! What is thou canst demand?
My liberty,
Before the time be out. No more.
I prithee, remember, I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made no mistakings, served without word grudge or grumblings. Thou did promise to bate me a full year.
Hast thou forgot from what a torment I did find thee in?
No.
Thou hast. And thinks it much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp winds of the north, and to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is baked with frost.
Do not.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot that foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Where was she born? Speak. Tell me.
Sir, in Archer.
Was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgettest. This damned witch, Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing, from Archer thou knowest was banished. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is this not true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and was left here by the sailors. Then, my servant, for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthy and abhorred commands, she did confine thee with the help of our more potent masters, in her most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within which earth thou did remain in prison 12 winters, venting thy groans as fast as will mills strike. And then was this island, save for the sun that she did litter here, a freckled one, hag-born, not honored with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
That very Caliban whom I now keep in service. Thou best knowst what a torment I did find thee in. It was a torment to lay upon the damned which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and found thee here, that made gape in the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak and peg thee in its knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 more winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command, and do my spriting gently.
Do so. And after 2 days I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master! What shall I do? Say, what shall I do?
Go make thyself like a nymph of the sea, be subject to no sight but mine, and thine invisible to every eyeball else. Go. Take the shape and hither come it. Go, hence with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Oh, thou hast slept well, awake.
The strangeness of your story put a heaviness in me.
Shake it off, come on. We'll go visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
He's a villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
As 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch us in wood, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho, slave! Caliban, thou art, thou speak!
There's wood enough within!
Come forth, I say! There's other business for thee. Come now, tortoise, when? Fine apparition, hearken thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Thou most poisonous slave, got by the devil himself. Upon thy wicked dam, come forth!
As wicked too, as ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fed trump. On you both! A southwest blow on you and blister you all over.
For this be sure tonight thou shalt have cramps. Side stitches I shall pen my breath, and urchins will forth at fast night to work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched
I must eat my dinner. This island is mine, my sycorax, my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and made much of me. Wouldst give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle, the fresh springs, brine pits, barren place and fertile. Cursed be I that did so! All the charms of sycorax, toads, beetles, bats light on you, for I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. And here you style me in this hard rock, whilst you do keep from me the rest of the
Thou
island.
lying slave who stripes may move not kindness. I have used you, filth as thou art, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
When it had been done, thou didst prevent me. I had people else as I with Caliban.
Abhorred slave, which any print of goodness wilt not take, being capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other, whence thou didst not know thine own tongue, but would babble like a thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes with words that makes them known. Thy vile creature, though thou didst learn, had that in it which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore wast thou deservedly confined into this rock, who hadst deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on it is I know how to curse. The red plague riches
Hence it hence! Fetch us in fuel and be quick, thou art best to answer to other business. Shrugg'st thou, malice? If thou neglect'st or dost unwillingly what I command, I shall rack thee with old crabs, make thy bones tremble such that beasts shall tremble at thy day.
No, pray thee, I must obey. His art is of such power it would control my dance god Setibus, and make a vassal of him.
So, slave, hence.
And then take hands, curtsy when you haven't kissed the wild waves waste, foot it featly here and there, and sweet sprites bear the burden. Hark, hark, the watch dogs bark. Hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer, cry cock-a-doodle-dow.
Where should this music be? In the air? Or the earth? It sounds no more. I'm sure it waits upon some god of the island, sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wrack. This music crept by me upon the water, allying both their fury and my passion with its sweet air. Hence I have followed it, or it hath drawn me rather. But 'tis gone.
Oh,
No, it begins again.
full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made, those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange, seen him sourly ring his noun. Hark, now I hear them ding-dong bell.
The ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
Prefer to curtain of thine eye advance and say what thou seest beyond. What is it? Spirit?
Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form. But 'tis a spirit.
No, friend. It senses as we have sight. This gallant which thou seest before thee is in the rack, and it is something stained with green. That's beauty's cake, or thou mightst call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows and strays about to find him.
I might call him a thing divine. For nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on. I see as my soul calls it. Oh, fine spirit, I shall set thee free for this.
Most sure the goddess on whom these hairs align. Vouchsafe my prayer. May no of you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is... Oh, you wonder if you be maid or no!
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language? Heavens! Ugh, I am the best of them that speak this speech right, but 'tis was spoken.
How the best? What wert thou if the king of Naples heard thee?
A single thing, as I am now that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself am Naples, who with mine eyes never since at ebb beheld the king my father's wrack.
Allah, for mercy.
Yes, faith, and all his lords, the Duke of Milan and his brave son being twin.
The Duke of Milan and his more braver daughter could control thee if not worth it to do it. At the first sight they have changed eyes. Oh, fine spirit, thou shalt be free. A word! Good sir, a word. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw. The first that e'er I sighed for.
Oh, pity move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin and your affections not gone forth, I'll make you the queen of Naples.
Soft, sir, one word more. This light winning I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. Sir, I charge thee that thou dost attend me. Thou dost usurp the name thou owest not, and have put thyself on this island as a spy to win it from me, the Lord Honest.
No! As I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, then good things shall strive to dwell with it.
Come, follow, speak you not for him. I'll manacle thy neck and feet together, sea water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, wherein the acorn grain. Follow!
No! I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
Father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
What I say, my foot, my tutor, who makes to show but dares not strike, thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Come, from thy ward draw thy weapon, for I shall here disarm thee with this stick and make it drop, beseech you.
Hey, father!
Pay not on my garments.
Sir, have pity. I'll be his surety.
Silence. One word more shall he be, chide thee, if not hate thee. What, an advocate for an impostor? Thou thinkst there are no more such shapes as he, having seen but he and Caliban. Foolish wench, to the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to he are angels.
My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come, thy nerves are in their infancy again, and have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits, as if in a dream, are all bound up. The rack of my father, the weakness which I feel, nor this man's threats, to whom I have subdued a what light to me. Might I but through my window once a day behold this maid. All quarters else of the earth let liberty make use of. Space enough have I in such a prison.
Come, fine spirit, follow me. Thou shalt be free, but then follow into exactly all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Be of comfort. father's of a better nature than he appears by speech. This is unwonted which now came to him.
Come, follow me.
And speak you not for him.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all, of joy. For our escape is far beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day, some sailor's wife, the master's some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitors will not give him over so.
Oh, look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike.
Sir,
One, tell.
when every grief is offered that's entertained, comes the entertained.
$1.
$1 comes to him. Oh, indeed. You spoke truer than you purposed.
You've taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord,
Fie, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue.
I prithee, spare.
will I have done but yet?
He will be talking.
Which, he or Adrian, for a good wager, first begins to cry.
The old cock.
The cockerel.
Done. The wager?
A laughter.
A match.
Though this island seems to be deserted,
So, you're paid.
inhabitable, and almost inaccessible,
Yet.
You could not miss it.
this must needs be of a subtle, tender, and delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate wench.
Aye, and the subtle, as he most learnedly delivered.
The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Or 'twere perfumed by fen.
Here is everything advantageous to life.
True, safe means to live.
Of that there's none, or little.
Look how lush and lusty the grass is. How green.
The ground is indeed tawny.
With an eye of green in't.
He could not miss it.
No, he doth but mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouched rarities are.
is that our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold, notwithstanding their freshness and gloss, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
Aye, or very falsely pocket up his
Ha.
report.
Methinks our garments are as fresh as when we put them on first in Africa, at the marriage of the king's fair daughter Clarabelle to the king of Tunis.
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never graced before such a paragon to their queen.
Ah, not since widow Dido's time.
Widow? Upon that, how came that widow in, widow Dido?
What if he had said widower Aeneas, too? Good Lord, how you take it.
Widow Dido, said you. You make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than miraculous art.
He hath raised the wall, and houses, too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son for an apple.
And sowing the kernels of it in the sea bring forth more islands. Why in good time?
Sir, we were just talking that our garments are as fresh as when we put them on in Tunis. At the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen.
And the rarest that e'er came there.
Obey, I beseech you, widow Dido.
Oh, widow Dido! Hey, widow Dido!
Is not, sir, my doublet as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean, in a sort.
That sort was well fished for.
When I bore it at your daughter's marriage.
You crammed these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there, for coming thence my son is lost. And in my rage she too, who was so far from Italy removed. I ne'er again shall see her. O thou mine heir of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surgeons' undermen right upon their backs. He trod the water whose enmity he flung aside, and breasted the surges most swollen that met him. His bold head above the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with his good arms in lusty stroke to the shore, that o'er his wave-worn basis bowed as stooping to relieve him. I have no doubt he came alive to land.
No, he's gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss, that would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she at least is banished from your eye, who hath cause to wet the grief on't.
Prithee, peace.
You were kneeled to, and importuned otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself weighed between loathness and obedience, at which end of the beam should bow. We have lost your son, I fear forever. Milan and Naples have more widows of this business making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the loss.
Michael, Lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most urgently.
It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather!
Very foul.
Had I a plantation of this isle, my lord,
He sowed it with the colonel's seed.
Or ducks, or mallows.
and the king were aught, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
I, the Commonwealth, would by contraries execute all things. For no kind of traffic would I permit, no name of magistrate. The letters should not be known. Riches, poverty, or use of service, none. Use of metal, corn, or wine, or oil, I'll have none. Contract, succession, board, bound of land, till their vineyard, none. No occupations, all men's idle, all, and women too, but innocent and pure. No sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat or endeavor. Treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine would I not have. But nature should bring forth of its own kind, all poison, all abundance, to feed my innocent people.
no marrying among his subjects.
No men, idols, whores, endings.
I would with such perfection govern, sir. To excel the golden age.
Save his majesty!
And do you mark me, sir?
Wende! No more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do very well believe, your highness, and did it to warrant occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lungs, that they used to laugh at nothing,
'Twas you we laughed at.
who in this kind of merry fooling am nothing to you. So you may continue, and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given?
And it had not fallen flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue it in 5 weeks without changing.
We would do so, and then go about fouling.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, I warrant you, I would not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me asleep? For I am very heavy.
Oh, sleep and hear us.
What? All so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would, with themselves, shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
Please you, sir! Do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow, and when it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it then not our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might worthy Sebastian? Oh, what might? No more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face what thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What? Art thou waking?
Dost thou not hear me speak?
I do. And surely it is a sleepy language, and thou speakst out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say? What a strange repose this is, to be asleep with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep. my snores.
I am more serious than my customs. You must be so too if heed me, which to do troubles are over.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so! To ebb, hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish, well, thus you mock it, how in striping it you more invest it. And the men indeed most often do so near the bottom run, by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a matter from thee, a birth indeed which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, this who shall be of little memory when he is earth, hath here almost persuaded, for he is a spirit of persuasion, professes to persuade the king his sons alive. 'Tis as impossible as he has him drowned, that he that sleeps here
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, I have no hope, what great hope have you? No hope that way is another way, so high a hope that even ambitions cannot pierce a wing without discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Clarabelle.
She that is queen of Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond men's lives, she that from Naples can have no note, unless the summer post, the men in the moon too slow, till newborn chins be rough and reasonable. She that from whom wit we were sea swallowed, though some cast again, and by some strange destiny to perform an act, whereof is what's prolonged, what's to come, and yours and mine's strength.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true. My brother's daughter's queen of Tunis, so is she, heir of Naples. Twixt which regions there is some space.
A space whose ever cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Clarabelle measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis, and let Sebastian weep. Say this were death that now has seized them. They are no worse than now they are. Lords that portrays as ample and unnecessary as this Gonzalo, I myself could make a chump as deep as chaps. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What to sleep were this for your advancement? Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
Then how does your content tend to your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother, Prospero.
True. And look how well my garments sit upon me, much fatter than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows. Now they are my men.
But for your conscience.
Ha ha! Sir, realize that. 'Twere kids would put me in my slipper, but I feel not the deity in my bosom. 20 conscience that stands twixt me and Milan, candy they are, and melt ere thy molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. He that were which now, which he's like, which is dead, whom I with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lie to bed forever, while thus you doing like to the perpetual wing. For this ancient morsel, this stern prudence, who should not upbraid our course. They'll take suggestion that a cat lacks sleep. They'll tell the clock to any business that we say benefits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou gotst to Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together. And when I rear my hand, you do the like to follow Gonzalo.
Oh, but one word!
My master through his heart foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, or else his project dies, to keep them living. While you here do snoring my open-eyed conspiracy, his time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware of wake. Go, quick! The lift will be sudden.
Now, good angels, preserve the king!
What, how now? Halt! Awake! Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whilst we stood here, securing your repose, even now I heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls or lions, rather. Did not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh,
strange one too, which did wake me. I shaked you, sir, and cried, and when I opened mine eyes, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. I suggest we stand upon our guard or that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off the ground and let's make further search for my poor son.
Heaven keep him from these beasts, for he is sure in the island.
Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats, on Prosper fall and make him by ignorance a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But the Lord pinch, frights me with irkin shows, pitch me in the mire, Lord, lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid them. But for every trifle they set upon me, sometimes like apes that mow and chatter at me, and after bites me. Then like hedgehogs that lie tumbling in my bare footway and not their pricks at my footfall. Sometimes am I all round with adders, who with cloven tongues do hiss me to madness. Lo, here comes the spirits of his. Did you torment me for bringing wood in slowly? I'll fall flat. Perchance he will not mind me?
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. And another storm brewing. I hear it sing in the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one looks like a foul bummer that would shed his liquor. It should thunder as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same black cloud cannot choose but fall my pale fold. What do we have here? A man? Or a fish? Dead? We're alive! Oh, a fish. He smells like a fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell, a kind of not of the newest poor John. A strange fish! Were I in England now as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool there would but give a piece of silver. There would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. When they will not give a doit to relieve a lame beggar, they will lay out 10 to see a dead fish. Legged like a man. Oh, his fins like arms. What warm, oh my troth. I do now let loose my opinion, hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that hath recently suffered from a thunderbolt. Oh, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his, gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabout. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. Oh, here will I shroud till the dregs of the storm be past. Oh, oh,
I shall no more to see. To see, here shall I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. Oh, the master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Moll, Mag, Marion, and Marjorie. But none of us cared for Kate, for she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, "Go hang!" She loved not the savor of tar nor of pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her where'er she did itch. Oh, then to sea, boys, and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune, too, but here's my comfort.
Do not torment me!
What's the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upons with savages and men of Ind? Ha! I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your 4 legs. For it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground. And it shall be so again while Stephano breathes at nostrils.
The spirit torments me.
Oh. This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs, who had got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I'll give him some relief, if it be but for that. If I can recover him, and keep him tame, and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor that ever trod on neat's leather.
Do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
He's in his fit now, and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If he never drunk wine afore, he'll go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon, I know it by thy trembling. The Prosper works upon thee.
Oh, come on your ways. Open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking, I can tell you, and that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend? Open your chaps again.
wait, I should know that voice. It should be... Oh, but he is drowned, and these are devils. Oh, defend me!
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speech and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come. Amen, amen. I shall pour some in thy other mouth.
Stephano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Oh, mercy, mercy. This is a devil and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Oh, Stephano! If thou be Stephano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, my good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser leg, if any legs be Trinculo's. These are they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be in the siege of this moon calf? Can he fence Trinculos?
I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke. But art thou not drowned, Stephano? I hope now that thou art not drowned. Is the storm overblown? I hid me under the dead moon calf's gabardine for fear of the storm. But art thou living, Stephano? Oh, Stephano, to the port escape!
Oh, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites, that's a brave god and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou escapest. I escaped upon the butt of a sack, which the sailors heaved overboard. By this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree with mine own hands, since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Swear then how thou escapest.
Swim ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
I kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Stephano, hast thou any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My rock is in a cellar by the seaside where my wine is hid. Oh. How now, moon calf? How's thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Oh, out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man of the moon when time was.
Oh, I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee in thy dog in thy bush.
Come, swear to that. Kiss the book. I will furnish it anon with new content. Swear.
Why, this good light. This is a very shallow monster. I am feared of him. A very weak monster. The man of the moon. Oh, a most poor, credulous monster. Well-drawn monster in good sooth.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I'll kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
By this light. This is a very perfidious and drunken monster. When God's asleep, he'll robs his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on, then. Down and swear.
I can laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster. A most scurvy monster. I could find it in my heart to beat him.
Come kiss.
But that the monsters in drink.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee. And get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrants that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A most ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
I prithee, let me bring thee to where crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scamels from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee now, lead the way without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and all our company, else being drowned, we will inherit him here. Here, bear my bottle, fellow Trinculo. We will fill him by and by again. Farewell, master, farewell, farewell.
A howling monster! A drunken monster!
No more clams, I'll make 4 fish. Your scrape treachery, your wash dish, bad, cacao has a new master, got the new man. Freedom, high day, freedom,
hearts are painful, and their labor delights in them sets off. Some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This, my mean task, would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead and makes my labors pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father is crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon sore injunction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work and says, such baseness could never like executor. I forget. But these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labors, most busiest when I do it.
Alas now, pray you, work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you are enjoined to pile. Pray, set it down, rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study. Pray now, rest yourself.
Most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs a while. Hey, give me that.
No, precious creature, I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you. And I should do it with much more ease. For my goodwill is to it, and yours, it is against.
More not infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No. Noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda? Oh, my father, I broke your hest to say so.
Indeed, the top of admiration. Worth what's dearest to the world. Full many women have I eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women, never any with so full a soul, but some moral defect in her did quarrel with the noblest Gratio and put its foil. But you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remember, save from my glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. How faces are abroad, I am skilless of, but by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not so. And would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service. There resides to make me slave to it, and for your sake am I this patient log man.
Do you love me?
Oh, heaven. Oh, earth! Bear witness to this sound, and crown what I profess with kind event if I speak true. If hollowly, invert what best is boded meets a mischief. Beyond all limit of whate'er else in the world do love, prize, honor you.
I am a fool to weep at what I cannot offer what I desire to give, much less take what I shall die to want. No, but this is trifling! No more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence, bashful cunning, and prompt me, plain and holy innocence, I am your wife if you shall marry me! If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow, you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will or no.
My mistress, dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then.
I. And with a heart as willing as bondage ere of freedom. Give my hand.
And mine, with my heart in it. And now, farewell. Until half an hour hence!
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they I cannot be who are surprised withal, but my rejoicing at nothing can be more. That's my book. For yet ere supper time I must perform much business appertaining.
Tell not me. When the bud is out, we'll drink water, not a drop before. Therefore, bear up and boredom. Servant monster, drink to me.
Serpent monster, who follow you this island? They say there's but 5 upon this isle. We are 3 of them. If the other 2 be brained like us, the state totters.
Drink, servant monster, when I bid thee. Thy eyes are well set in thy head.
Where should they be set else? He were a brave monster indeed, if they were son of his tail.
My man monster has drowned his tongue with sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swear, ere I could recover the shore, 30 leagues off and on by this light, thou shalt be my lieutenant monster, or my standard.
Oh, your lieutenant, he's no standard.
Will not run, Monsieur Monster.
Nor go neither, but shall lie like dogs and say nothing neither.
Moon calf, speak once in thy life, if thou be'st a good moon calf.
How does thy honor? Oh, let me lift thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He is not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. I'm in case to justle a constable, thou debauching fish, thou. Was there ever a man, a coward that have drunk so much sack as I today? Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half a fish and half a monster?
Lo, how he mocks me. Wouldst thou let him, my lord?
Oh, Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
Lo, again. Bite him to death, I prithee.
Trinculo, keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove a mutineer, the next tree. The poor monster's my subject, and he shall not suffer from indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry will I kneel and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Trinculo.
Why, as I told thee, I'm subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer that by his cunning had cheated me of the island.
Thou liest!
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee. You do not lie.
Trinculo, if you trouble him in his tail, by this hand, I'll supplant some of your teeth.
What? I said nothing.
Mum then, and no more. Proceed.
I say by sorcery he got this iron. From me he got it. If thy greatness will, revenge it on him. For I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
But how now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, my lord. I'll yield to thee a seat where thou may knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest! Thou canst not!
What a pie to is this? Thou scurvy patch! I do beseech your greatness, give him blows, and take his bottle from him. When that's gone, he shall drink naught but brine, for I'll not show him where the quick freshes are.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. If you interrupt the monster one word further, by this hand, I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee.
Why? What did I did nothing.
Oh. Stand farther off.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest!
Oh, do I so? Take thou that. As you like this, give me the lie another
I
time.
did not give the lie.
Oh.
Out of your wits and your hearing too. Epoxy your bottle. This can sack and drinking do. I'm a rain on your monster and the devil take your fingers.
Now forward with your tale. Prithee stand further off.
Beat him enough. After a little time, I'll beat him too.
Stand farther. Come, proceed.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom of him in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brave him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or punch him with a stake, or cut his reason with thy knife. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he's but a sot, as I am, or have not one spirit to command. Well do hate him as rootedly as I. Burn but his books. He has brave utensils, for so he calls them, which when he has a house he'll deck with all. Oh, and that most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her the non-purelle. I never saw a woman but only Sycorax, my dam, and she. But she has far surpassed Sycorax's greatest does least.
Is it so brave a lass?
I, my lord, should become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I shall be king and queen, save our graces, and Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Oh, give me thy hand. I'm sorry I beat thee, but while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head,
Within this half hour he will be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on mine honor.
This will I tell my master.
Thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund. Wilt thou troll the cat you taught me but while ere?
At thy request, I do reason any reason. Come, Trinculo, let us sing. Flout 'em and scout 'em and flout 'em and scout 'em. Thought is free.
Yes, that's not the tune.
Oh. What is this saying?
That is the tune of our catch played by the picture of, nobody.
If thou be'st a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou be'st a devil, take as thou list.
Forgive me my sins.
Oh, he that dies pays all debts. I defy thee. Mercy upon us.
Art thou afeard?
Oh, no, monster, not I.
Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about my ears, and sometimes voices that, if I then had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again. And then in dreaming the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that when I waked, the pride would dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom to me.
No.
Where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed,
That shall be by and by. I remember this story.
Oh, the sound is going away. Let's go after it after do our work.
Lead, monster. We'll follow. I would I could see this table. He lays it on. Wilt come?
I'll follow Stephano.
Miranda, sir, I could go no further. 'Tis a mistrot indeed. Through fourth ranks and meanders. By your patience, I needs must rest me.
O the Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness to the dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest.
Oh.
Even here I will put up hope and keep it no longer for my flatterer. He is drowned, whom thus we strain to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Well, he is gone.
I am right glad that he is so out of hope. Do not for one repulse forego the purpose that you resolved to effect.
The next advantage will we take thoroughly.
Then let it be tonight, for now they are oppressed with travel. They will not nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight. No more.
What harmony is this? My good friends, hark!
Marvelous. Sweet music.
Ah!
What were these?
A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix throne, one phoenix at this hour reigning there.
I'll believe both, and what else does one credit come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true. Travelers ne'er did lie, fools at home condemn them.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders? For certes, these are people of the island, who, though they are monstrous in shape, yet not their manners are more gentle and kind than that of our human generation. You shall find many, nay, almost any.
Honest Lord, thou hast said well. For some of you here present are worse than devils. I cannot too much muse, such shape, such gesture, such sound expressing, although they want the use of tongue, a strange, excellent, dumb discourse. Praise, in departing,
They vanished strangely.
No matter, since they have left their viands behind, for we have stomachs. Will't please you to taste of what is here?
not I.
Oh, sir, fear not. When we were boys, who would believe that there were mountaineers dewlapped like bulls whose throats had at them hanging wallets of flesh, or that there were such men whose heads stood in their breasts, which we now find. Each putter out of 5 of 1 will grant us good warrant of.
I will stand to and feed, although my last, no matter, since I feel the best is past. Brother, my lord the duke, stand to and do as we.
You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny, that hath to instrument this lower world and what is it, the never surfeited sea hath caused to belch up you. And on this island, where man doth not inhabit, you mongst men being most unfit to live, I have made you mad, and even with such like valor, men hang and drown their proper selves. You fools! I am
Jerkin under the line. Now, Jerkin, you are like to lose your hair and prove a fall, Jerkin.
Do. We steal by line and level, and like your grace.
Oh, and thank thee for that jest. Oh, here's a garment for it, which shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. Steal by line and level is an excellent pass of pay. Oh, here's another garment for it.
Monster, lay lime upon your fingers and away with all the rest.
I will have none on it. We shall lose our time and all be turned to barnacles or to apes with foreheads villainous low. Monster, lay onto your fingers. Help to bear this away where my hogshead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to carry this.
And this.
And this. Okay. Easy now. No. Oh, God! Oh, my hair!
Go towards my goblins that they shall grind their joints with dry convulsions, shorten up their sinews with aged cramps, and more pinch-spotted make them than pawed or cat-mounted.
Hark, they roar!
Let them be hunted. Soundly. At this hour lies at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall my labors end, and thou shalt have the air at freedom. For a while follow, and do me service. Now does my project gather to a head. My charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright for this carriage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease.
I did say so when I first raised the Tempest. Say, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together, in the same fashion as you gave in charge, just as you left them. All prisoners, sir, in the lime grove which weather fens your cell. They cannot budge till your release. The king, his brother, and yours abide all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. But chiefly, him that you termed, sir, the good old Lord Gonzalo. His tears run down his beard like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Charm so strongly worksome that if you now beheld them, their affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine, sir, were I human.
And mine shall. Hast thou, which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their affliction? Shall not myself, one of their kind, who relish all as sharply passion as they be, kindly remove them that art? Though with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason against my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go, release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
You elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and you that on the sands with printless foot do chase the abbey Neptune and do fly him when he comes back. Oh, you demi puppets, that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the you not bites, and you whose pastimes to make the midnight mushrooms that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though you be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun. the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and azure vault, set roaring to war. The dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and ripped Jove's stout oak by his own bolt. The strongest promontories have I made shape, and by the spurs pine and cedar graves at their command have waked their sleepers out, and let them forth by my so potent art. But as I require some heavenly music, as even now I do, to work mine end on those this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. Solemn air, and the best comforter to an unsettled fancy, now cure thy brains, useless, boiled within thy skull. There stand, for you are spell-stopped. Holy Gonzalo, honorable sir, mine eyes, insociable to the show of thine fall, fell in drops. Charm dissolves apace, and as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness, their clearer reason begins to mantle the ignorant fumes that cloud it. Oh, good Gonzalo, my true preserver and loyal sir, I shall pay thy graces home, both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. My brother was a furtherer in the act. Thou'rt pinched for now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood. You, brother mine, who expelled remorse and reason, who with Sebastian, whose inward pinches therefore are most strong, would here have killed your king. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Their understanding begins to swell, and the approaching tide shall shortly fill the reasonable shore that now lies foul and muddy. But one of them that looks on me at all will know me. Ariel, fetch me the hat and rapier myself. I shall discase myself as I was sometime Milan. Quickly, go hence with diligence. Shall miss thee, but thou shalt ere long be free. So to the king's ship invisible as thou art.
I drink the air before me and return, or ere your pulse twice beat.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. In the name of something holy, guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. For more assurance, a living prince to speak to thee, I embrace thy body. And to thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome.
Where thou beest, he or no, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me. As late I have been, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear a madness held me. This must craven, if this be at all a most strange story. Thy dukedom I resign, and do entreat thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and be here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honor cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle, will not let you believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all. grace of lords, were I so minded, I could pluck his highness's frown and justify you traitors. Yet this time I will tell no such tales.
The devil speaks in him.
No! For you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would infect my mouth, I do forgive thy rankest faults, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which, perforce, I know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation, how thou hast met us here, whom 3 hours since were racked upon this shore, where I have lost, how sharp this remembrance is, my dear son Ferdinand.
And woe for it, sir.
Irreparable is the loss, and patience as it is past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help, of whose soft graces for the like lost I have her sovereign, and rest myself content.
You the like loss.
As great to me as Leighton means to make the dear loss I have much greater than you may call to comfort you, for I have lost my daughter.
A daughter. Oh, heavens, that they were living both in Naples, the king and queen there, that they were, I wish, myself were mudded in that oozy bed where my son lies. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest. I do perceive these lords of this encounter do so much admire that they devour their reason. They scarce think their eyes do offices of truth. Their words are natural breath. But howsoe'er you have been jostled from your senses, know thus far forth that I am Prospero, and that very duke who was thirst for Milan, who most strangely upon this shore where you were wrapped was landed to be the Lord on't. No more yet of this, for 'tis a chronicle of day by day, and not a relation for breakfast, nor befitting of this first meeting. Please you, look in. Here's my son. Here I have few subjects and none attendants abroad. Please you, look in. My dukedom, since you have given me again, I shall requite thee with as much a good thing to content you as much as me my dukedom.
Sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my dearest love, I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I would call it fair play. If this prove a vision of the island, one dear son shall I twice lose?
A most high miracle!
Though the seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
Now all the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise and say how thou camest here. Wonder how many goodly people are there here. Oh, brave new world that has such people in it. What is new to thee? What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Your eldest acquaintance cannot be 3 hours. Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
No, sir, she is mortal, but by mortal providence, she is mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one. She is daughter to this famous Duke of Milan, of whom I have heard often renowned but never saw before, of whom I have received a second life, and second husband, and second father this lady makes him too.
I am hurt. But oh, how oddly will it sound, I must ask my child forgiveness.
There, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrances with a heaviness that's gone.
Oh, I have inly wept! Or should have spoke ere this? Look down, you gods, and on this couple drop a blessed crowd. For it is you that have trod forth the way that brought us hither.
I say amen!
Was Milan thrust from Milan that their issue should become kings of Naples? In one voyage did Claribel, her husband, find it to his hand, Ferdinand, her brother, her wife, her himself was lost, and Prospero was dukedom in the war isle, and all of us ourselves, when no man was his own.
Give me your hand! Let not grief nor sorrow still embrace his heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so, amen! Oh, look, sir, look, here is more of us! I prophesied if there are gals on land, this fellow could not drown. Oh, now blasphemy that sweareth grace or board. Not an oath on shore, hast thou no mouth by land? What is the news?
The best news is that our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave out split, is tight in yard and bravely brings us when we first put out to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I went.
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Say, how came you hither?
If I did think, sir, I were well awake, I'd strive to tell you.
Was it well done?
Bravely, my diligence, thou shalt be free.
This is as strange a maze as airmen trod, and there is in this business more than men were ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with the beating on the strangeness of this business. At picked leisure, which shall be shortly, single I'll resolve you of every these happened accidents, which to you shall seem probable, till when be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Ariel, go to Caliban and his companions and tie the spell. How fares my gracious sir? There remains some missing from your company, a few odd lads that you remember not.
Every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself. For all is but fortune, Coraggio, bully monster Coraggio.
If these be true spies which I wear in my head, here's a goodly sight.
Tempest, the brave spirits indeed. I'll find my masters. I'm afraid he will chastise me.
What are these things, my Lord Antonio? Will money buy them?
Very like. One of them is a clean fish, and no doubt remarkable.
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords, and say it may be true. This misshapen knave, his mother was a witch, and one so powerful she could control the moon, make flows and ebbs, and deal in her command with all power. These three have robbed me. And this thing of darkness, for he's a demi-devil, hath plotted with them to take my life. Two of these things you must know and own. This thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is this not Stephano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk now. Where had he wine?
And Trinculo is reeling ripe. Where should they find this grand liquor that hath gilded him? How camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw you last, which I fear me will never out of my bones. I will not fear fly blowing.
Why, how now, Stephano?
Oh, touch me not, for I am not Stephano. Oh, what a cramp.
You'd be king of the Isles, sirrah.
Oh, I would have been. Oh, a sore one then.
This is as strange a thing I e'er looked on.
He is as disproportionate in his manners as in his shape. Go, sirrah, to my cell. Bring with you your companions, as you seek to have my pardon, trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will, and I'll be wise hereafter and seek for grace. What a thrice double ass was I to take this drunkard for a god and worship this dull fool.
Go to. Away.
Hence and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, my liege, your highness and your company I invite into my cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night, within which space I shall make go quick away by telling you the story of my life and the particular accidents gone by since I came to this isle. And then in the morning I'll to your ship, and thence Naples, where I hope to see this, the nuptial of our dear beloved Solomon. And thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
I'll deliver all. And promise, calm seas, auspicious gales, and sail so expeditious it shall catch thy royal fleet far off. My Ariel, chick, that is thy charge. Then to the elements be free, and fare thou well. Please, draw near.
throne, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint. Now, 'tis true, I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardoned the deceiver, dwell in this fair island by your spell, but release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now, I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so as it assaults, and mercy itself frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free.